In our daily life, negotiation is one of the most frequent and important interactions with others, whether at work, with our family and friends, or even strangers we just met. But in most cases, negotiation is a game of trades with more of a binary result. More often than not, one person wins while the other loses. It is quite hard to achieve a win-win situation, and this is why some people could easily manipulate any deals and makes the odds frequently in their favors. Their negotiation tactics are cunning and quite manipulative as long as they are able to get what they want. In a broader sense, a negotiation tactic is a single maneuver to be employed in the heat of a battle, a move, counter-move, or an adjustment employed as you work to gain the best possible outcome at any given moment. Tactics may also be used manipulatively by another party to move you from a position of safety to a place where you are more vulnerable to attack. As an effective negotiator, you must be prepared for such tactics at every turn. Most tactics fall into 5 basic categories, which are pressure, delaying, manipulative, power or one-up, and collaborative. In this video, we will discuss some commonly used tactics and how to identify and neutralize them to keep the negotiating power on your side. 1. The deadlines tactic. Deadlines could pressure both parties in a negotiation to make choices and to take actions. Deadlines may be artificial or real. They can be external deadlines imposed by other party or internal deadlines within your own organization. For example, if I don't get your order by Friday, I cannot guarantee the delivery you need. To neutralize the deadline tactics, test it. Ask questions to see how real and how firm it is. The person setting the deadline is counting on the fact that it is human nature to believe deadlines are real. It is in your best interest to be skeptical. If you decide that the deadline is real, determine where it comes from, whether an extension is possible, and what the consequences would be of missing the deadline. 2. The competition tactic. Competition is another powerful pressure tactic. When people are clamoring for the other party's product, they can charge a more competitive price. When people are clamoring to sell to you, you can generally pay a lower price. The other party can create competition by saying, "We'll have to send this out for bids." They can also create a sense of competition by talking about previous orders with other companies or about what someone else is doing. For example, "I like your product, but the store down the street sells almost the same thing for $100 less. Can you match that?" To neutralize this tactic, ask questions to find out as much information as possible about what the competition is offering. Is the product the same? Is it of the same quality? What are the payment terms? Are they adding more charges for delivery or packaging? By asking more questions, you will gain more information to verify what you just heard. 3. The limited authority tactic. The limited authority creates a situation where the negotiator mentions their limited ability to make a decision, creating a stall in the negotiations. The advantages of using limited authority is that it may lower your aspiration level. It also allows time to delay decision. For example, "My boss will have to authorize this." The key to countering this tactic is to find out who makes decisions and arranging a way to meet with them. It is important when possible to start negotiating with the individual who has the final authority in order to prevent this tactic from being used. Try to find out what standards are used to determine whether an agreement will be authorized or not. 4. The missing person tactic. A similar and related tactic, the missing person tactic occurs when the other party acts as if the missing person needs to be included in the deal. It is not that the person you are talking to wouldn't like to continue the negotiation, but they say someone else needs to be involved, someone who was never present at the meeting or who left earlier, or someone who has to authorize something. For example, "I cannot discuss delivery times because our boss is out for the rest of the week." The key to countering this tactic is to try to find out who makes final decisions regarding delivery times, price, payment terms, and other conditions. You can also ask to set up a meeting with that person if the other party attempts to use this tactic. 5. The moral appeal tactic. The moral appeal tactic is a manipulative tactic that are being used to remind you that the goal of a negotiation is mutual satisfaction. It appeals to your sense of fairness. It includes any statement whose purpose is to get you onto the other party's side. For example, let's be fair, you cannot expect a firm price with the problems in the economy. To counter this tactic, explain to the other party that the terms you have agreed to are in each other's best interests. Ask probing questions to find out what will happen to the other party. What is their underlying motivation? 6. The good guy and bad guy tactic. We have all seen this one used on police shows on television. One member of a negotiating team takes an extreme stand or radical position, making excessive demands and refusing to offer reasonable concessions. This tends to intimidate you, get you off balance and lower your aspiration. Then, the good guy comes into the act with calming and soothing comments and a more often reasonable offer. Even though the offer may still not very good in absolute terms, it looks great in comparison to what the bad guy had to say. Often, the natural impulse is to agree. To counter this tactic, be careful not to be taken in by the good guy. While his offer may sound fantastic compared to the bad guys, the terms may still be unacceptable. Find out more about the terms and see if they are consistent with your objectives. 7. The blanketing tactic. Blanketing is a power tactic which is generalizing something by saying that everyone else is doing it. Kids are expert at this tactic. However, it also appears frequently in business. The objective of this tactic is to create credibility and weaken the other side's position. For example, how can I continue to buy from you? Everyone else is lowering their prices. To counter this tactic, use objective criteria to determine just what the fair positions of your agreement should be. For example, industry standards, rates of inflation, or standard profit margin. Also, ask questions to find out what the competition is offering or what deals have been drawn up with the other clients. 8. The association tactic. Association is a tactic that may occur in conjunction with blanketing. Many of the most successful salespeople will use this tactic at the beginning of a sales call or negotiation to enhance their credibility. Also known as name dropping, this tactic is a popular way of increasing the other party's power in a negotiation. It can be blatant or subtle. It is most effective when true, but can be very manipulative when untrue. For example, this project reminds me of one I did for James. To counter this tactic, ask the other party probing questions to find out what they did for the other companies. What terms did they agree to? How large was their order? Get as many details as possible about what they have done for them in the past. With a basic understanding of the types of manipulative tactics and how they work, we can move to neutralize almost anything the other party's attempts. Remember to keep working on a principal level and try for a win-win outcome. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you like our content, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss our future updates. Until then, we will see you in the next videos.